Unbelievable.
With Halliburton's
Awesome.
26th season, Danny, in jeopardy, the Pacers have 15-1 odds to return to the finals at the moment. 6 shortest odds in the conference. The Cavs, Knicks, Magic, Celtics, and Sixers all have shorter odds to be East champs. Our front office insider, Bobby Marks, joining us now. The Pacers had an amazing run, as we highlighted there, Bobby, but this Halliburton injury puts a real dark cloud over their future. So, Bobby, how do things look for Indy heading into the offseason?
Well, I think, George, it certainly starts with the free agency of Miles Turner, the top center on the free agent market. What happens with Miles Turner in light of this Tyrese Halliburton injury? As Brian and Shams had reported, Indiana was willing to pay the luxury tax to bring Miles Turner back. They have not done so since 2006. What happens with Turner? This market is not great out there unless you are re-signing with your own team. And if Turner does re-sign, what happens to the future of Benedict Mathurin, who is rookie extension eligible? He could be a free agent in the 2026 offseason. And then certainly Aaron Nesmith, who has 2 years left on his contract and is also extension eligible for up to 3 years, $64 million. Remember, the strength of this Indiana team was their bench. And does the Halliburton injury coupled with a Turner new contract, does that diminish moving forward here?
So, Bobby, the East is wide open as we go into next season, more so than I can remember for sure. Where do the Pacers stack up in the East moving forward here?
You know what, George? I had 3 revisions for their offseason article going into last night, and we had to write a 4th one based on the Halliburton injury. And the prior 3, they were the favorite. They were the favorite in the Eastern Conference, along with Oklahoma City out west. And I think last night certainly changes that, where now they are in a position similar to where Boston is with the Jason Tatum injury, where Milwaukee is with the Damian Lillard injury. We're looking at Cleveland, certainly in New York. The Cavs finished with the best record. Those 2 teams should be the favorites. And then, of course, Orlando, and then as we see here, Boston. And we're not talking about last year's offseason winner, Philadelphia. Certainly keep an eye on Philadelphia if that roster can stay healthy.
Yeah, I think when you look at the Pacers, they're clearly one of the deepest teams in the league. So on one hand, they can survive an injury, but on the other, they are so geared toward the way Tyrese Halliburton plays with their high-speed attack. They've really built their entire team around Halliburton. When Rick Carlisle got there to be the head coach, his number one priority was to get a point guard, specifically Tyrese Halliburton, who he wanted to draft in Dallas before he left the Mavericks. And so I believe the Pacers are still going to be extremely formidable with this team. The question, as Bobby raises, is I do think they're going to prioritize re-signing Miles Turner. The question is, will they go into the luxury tax to do so? Meaning, would they take another player, potentially would push him in the luxury tax and trade him to save money? That's probably something that they're having hard conversations and considering after they deal with taking care of Tyrese Halliburton, having surgery very soon to get that addressed.
Danny, it's interesting to Brian's point about the offense being his, basically. Rick Carlisle famously had not turned the reins over to very many point guards. He did that with Halliburton from their first dinner together when he got traded from Sacramento. So certainly a big blow to them in that regard.
Definitely, but I got to give Pascal Siakam a lot more credit. And also their backup. Bob Myers said something when I was watching the finals. They have some of the 2 best backup point guards in the league with Nembhard and TJ McConnell. They're going to get their money's worth out of these 2 guys. So this team is still a very good team, top 6 team in my eyes as a playoff for next year. The East is wide open. And because of the chemistry and the bond they have, the gel they have, they could be a sleeper team to make it to the Eastern Conference Finals again, like a Miami Heat has done in the past. So I like what they have. I like the depth they have. They signed Nesmith back and Mathurin back, keep Miles Turner. This is a really good group and a team that's definitely a playoff perspective and could be a sleeper that can get into that Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah, Kevin Pritchard's done a phenomenal job building that roster for sure. So coming up next.
How's it going, everybody? Villa Sports Network here. Just want to thank you guys for your support on the channel. Thank you guys for watching the video. Hope y'all enjoyed it. I also want to kind of remind you to don't forget to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment on the video if you like as well. But regardless of the fact, thank you again for your support, and hope to see you on the next video.